Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, or if you're tuning in for the first time, please check out some earlier videos of if you're ever starting off Excel for the first time, literally just opening up a spreadsheet and you have no idea what you're doing. Please go to the previous videos, but if you're chugging along with me, feel free to keep watching. So, I want to go through some more intermediate, maybe some basic intermediate formulas or functions that Excel has. So here I already have a couple already completed, but I'm just going to type them in again. But this is just for helping me remember as well. So first one that we have is the if error. So basically, if there's a risk that a formula that we type in will return an error. So for example, if I type in equal signs 10 divided by 0, or I guess I should pick up the cell. So basically, dividing by 0 will just give up an error, just like in any situation. So if I type that in, we will get this error like the hashtag div-0. So it's basically saying you're trying to divide something by 0, which makes Excel angry. But if we type in if error, it will allow us to return a different value if there is an error within the formula. So for example, if I want to do this cell divided by this cell, which we know will create an error, I wanted to return something different. So I could return a different number. So I could type in 10 and it will return 10, or I can put in a text. So if I do apostrophes n/a, closing apostrophes, then we have a closing parentheses, and then here we have our NA. So it's up to you, whatever you want it to return if there's an error. Now obviously if there is a 1 in here, then it will return a 10. Same thing with here since there's no longer an error, but it will return 10. So it's basically a little bit of a stopgap. If there is an error happening, you'll get a slightly nicer text or number that will make your spreadsheet look better at the end of the day. Another one that I want to look at, and this is more related to text, is the trim function. So basically, if you have a word, and I just typed in a random word, if you have a word that has a bunch of spaces, either before or after the word, it will eliminate those. So right here we can see removes all spaces from a text string except for single spaces between words. So if I just select a cell, Excel will automatically understand and see, oh, you have 5 different spaces before the word or between the different words or whatnot, and then it will just shorten it up and kind of clean it up a little bit for us, which is pretty nifty. Moving on to the next one, again, another text related one is left and right function. So here we have the left function being used. So let's just say I see a word, but I only want it to select the first few characters or the first few letters of that word. Well, Excel will let you do that, which is pretty nifty. So if I type in left, we can see it will go starting from the left side from the text. It will select the number of characters that you want it to select. So if I do a comma and I do 3, then we'll see ABC. It will select those 3. If I want to do 6, so if I want to do ABC 1, 2, 3, it will do ABC 1, 2, 3, which is pretty nifty. So if there's like specific key letters within a word that you want to select, this is your function for you. We can do the same thing for the right. So instead of starting from the left, it's starting from the right, or I guess the end of the text. So we'll again select our text. We'll type in 3 for the number of characters to just select XYZ. We could also do 6 characters, and we can do 1, 2, 3, XYZ. Pretty nifty. Another one that I've mentioned in earlier videos within this channel is the random function. And this can be really helpful if you just want to get a random set of data or a random set of numbers, basically just to randomize things, just to make it realistic instead of having you manually type in a bunch of random numbers. This will just do it for you. So it's super simple. You just do equals rand. I don't know why it's not random. I guess there's probably a reason. Somebody can probably explain it to me, but rand will basically just return a number between 0 and 1. So if I do that, here we can see this is 0 between 0 and 1. Now this one is a little bit nicer. You can do rand between So it will return a number between a set of numbers that you specify. So basically, I can choose, I want Excel to randomly choose a number between 1 and 100, or 1 and 1,000, or 1 and a million. You could do that with Excel. So I think I used 1 in 100, but I'll do 1 in 1,000. Here we see 662. Here we have 1 in 100. So again, if you just want a bunch of random data filled out, or a bunch of random numbers in your spreadsheet, this is probably the way to do it. Here I have, let me type that in, SUMIF. So here I want to do a sum if a certain criteria is met. So for example, if I type in SUMIF, again, we just want to add the numbers or the amounts depending on what criteria we're giving it. So let me do that. So here we have our range. So we'll select this entire range. This is our range of our data. In the criteria, I want to select just electronics. So I just wanted to sum the 50, the 10, and the 78. Then the sum range. I wanted to just sum that range. There we go. And right now, I use the rand between into here. So we've just been getting random numbers, but let me just hard code these. So I just selected the entire cell, did a Control C, which is a shortcut, and then I can just click paste values. There we go. So now if I select all of these should be 73. Another key nifty thing with Excel is that if you look at the bottom right around here, you can see a sum of 73, then count, so the number of cells that I have selected, and the average based on the amounts that I selected. So it's pretty nifty if you just want to get a quick glance on, oh, you know what, how much is this being summed up to? Or how many cells do I have selected, or amounts that I've selected, and so forth. Probably should have explained it in an earlier video, but, you know, live and learn. But anyways, this is pretty helpful if you have a big set of data with different criterias or different, what's it called, like variables, different sources, and you just want to sum one specific source or multiple specific sources, then this is your function for you. So hopefully this helped. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions, and have a good one.